Hey, Will Smith is a legend, period. Now, a lot of people are trying to write him off like his 30 plus year career hasn't been nearly spotless up until this Chris Rock smack at the Oscars. It was a mistake, but we all make them. So this video was going to show you what made Will Smith great up until this point and some stuff that you can apply on your own journey. Versatile. Will Smith had a music career long before becoming one of the biggest movie stars. His music actually sold really well. He had 4 gold albums and 1 platinum album before he even began acting. But as great as it sounds, his music career was just small compared to his acting career. Will never let himself get boxed into any role. His big acting break came from playing a version of himself on a legendary show called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Now, from the start of the series to the end, you can actually see the growth in his acting abilities. He used this show as a launching pad for his film career. Some of his biggest movies include 6 Degrees of Separation, The Bad Boys series, Independence Day, Men in Black 1 and 2, Ali, The Pursuit of Happiness, I Am Legend, Shark Tale, Aladdin, King Richard, which is what he was at the Oscars for in the first place, winning an award. And some of these were serious roles. Some were action, some were comedy, some were even animated. The difference in all of them allowed him to tap into multiple different fan bases, which allows his name and his brand to gain millions of eyeballs. Now, millions of eyeballs makes the studios want to have you in their films or have you attached to them in some sort of way, whether it be directing, acting, producing, whatever, because they know you will be able to sell tickets and what your name and your brand brings to their project. And when you have that type of selling power, you can charge higher prices for your services. Point, period, blank. Versatility helped Will do this, and it's a part of how he became great. You need to add this to your talents and whatever your profession is. Don't become known for only one certain thing. Keep showing layers and adding to your skill set. Nearly spotless resume. When you have a long career, especially one that puts you in the public eye, people tend to notice all the times you mess up. And when that happens, people start to turn on you. People who didn't really like to see you be great start to become the loudest. People who just follow the crowd will start to talk down on you just to fit in. People who love to have something to be mad about will turn their rage towards you. And the people you thought were cool turn out to be fake. And when everybody else decides that, hey, we don't love you the same, they expose themselves. And sometimes those are the closest people to you. You damn near have to be perfect. And even though we all know no one is, we act like we are. Well, Will nearly achieved this perfect persona for over 30 plus years. I mean, he had a few small things that people would talk about, like the first Dan Viv getting fired from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and it being him who made the call, or people being mad at the way Jada seems to treat him in public and having a lack of respect for him. But nothing major until the Chris Rock smack at the Oscars. Those same people I mentioned earlier showed up in big numbers. Now, if he had a sketchy past, this probably would end his career. But Will's nearly spotless career helped him retain a lot of supporters that wouldn't just be willing to let him die out, career-wise that is. His resume on paper is way too strong to be ignored. This is a lesson for all you that plan on being a public figure. I mean, it can apply to any profession, but this is mostly for you public figure people. Things you do now can affect you in the future. So make sure your resume is clean as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, and there's a 100% chance that it won't be, but you should make sure that the fuck-ups are as low as possible. This is what helped Will Smith continue his legendary career, which is still going to continue. Evolving. Will Smith is mostly known for being an actor and a rapper, but he has evolved into doing a lot of work behind the camera as well. Right now, there's a lot of old TV shows being remade and modernized. Will Smith is in on this trend. He is an executive producer on a show called Bel-Air, which is a remake of the show that started his acting career, which was The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Bel-Air is dope and going into its 3rd season, but it's going to be delayed due to the fact that the writers and actors strike is going on right now. Now, I literally grew up watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, it released when I was 1 year old, and I had high standards going into the remake. And I think that they did it right, so when the companies pay their writers and their actors fairly, I'll be waiting on season 3 to drop. He's also an executive producer on a huge Netflix series called Cobra Kai, which is developed from the 80s Karate Kid movies. And as of 2018, he has been hosting and executive producing documentaries. He also wrote a book on his life. Evolution is another reason that Oscar scandal won't stop Will from continuing his career. You should always be working to evolve on your journey. That doesn't mean you should be out here chasing promotions and titles if that's not what you really want, but you should be constantly updating your skill set. Not only keeping up with the times, but trying to be ahead of them a little bit. If you're a music producer, don't just do one genre, because you won't always be the dopest in that one genre. So when things start to slow down, if you evolve in other ways, such as producing in other genres, you can continue working and making money. Consistency. Since 1990, Will Smith has been putting in a lot of work on his main source of work, which is acting. 33 years of consistent work, and he has been a superstar every year. That is a rare thing when it comes to entertainment, especially for minorities. Up until recently, there seemed to only be room for one, maybe two people of the same minority race group to be on the top at the same time. Used to get a few years and then slowly fade off into irrelevancy. The only other black actor from this time period that can compete with Will Smith the entire time was Denzel Washington. Everyone else may have had a moment or two at the top but became irrelevant or just considered good or great at their job afterwards. Never superstar. The reason Will has been able to stay at the top so long is mainly due to consistency. He performed like a superstar year after year, and his box office success is a reflection of that. He also stayed relevant by not disappearing out of the spotlight. Now, how many times have we seen somebody reach the top and then we don't see them for a while? And when they decide to come back, they can't seem to get anyone's attention. That's because people have found someone else to fulfill that role in their life. Consistency doesn't mean no days off ever. In the beginning, yeah, no days off may need to be applied. But in this case, consistency is always having something in the tuck, or having a schedule in place that allows you to seem like you're always bringing something when in reality you've already put in the work previously. This works for actors who may shoot two, 3 movies a year, but release one year, one another year, one another year. Rappers may record 2 or 3 albums worth of music in a couple of weeks or a couple months, but release them all in 6 months to a year increments. People working in the business world may put together multiple deals during the same time period, but the public won't see it until long after they're completed. Pretty much any profession you are in can allow for you to be and seem consistent without overextending yourself. Will Smith has used consistency as a way to stay at the peak of his career. Consistency also helps you become better with whatever you do. Like I mentioned before, Will started his acting career with The Fresh Prince, and you can see the growth. Now in the beginning, you can actually see him mouthing the words of all the lines, even the ones that didn't belong to him.
School bus trip?
Oh, sure I do. I've been held back in the 10th grade 3 times in a row.
3 times?
Yeah, see, my motto is, when I find a grade I like, I stick with it.
Because that was the way he could follow the script. Him consistently working on that craft not only broke that habit, but it helped him become one of the best actors on the planet. Consistency plays a big role in Will Smith's greatness, and it'll play a big role in yours too. Now, these are just a few of the things that help Will Smith achieve greatness, but I think we can all use to achieve it too. Sub up before you leave. Y'all be great.